Hey guys, welcome to the Common Sense Football Show and welcome to today's show. Today we're going to be previewing Sunday's games, especially the big game, a potential title deciding clash between Liverpool and Arsenal. Arsenal going for the title. Well, where do we start? Manchester City getting a big win at Southampton, beating them 4-1. So pretty much making tomorrow's game for Arsenal a must-win game to try and maintain that 8-point gap, even though City would have a game in hand. So going into tomorrow's game, we would have to say that Arsenal, from the form guide, are in better form than Liverpool. Liverpool are coming off a draw at Chelsea and a defeat, I believe, at Manchester City when they got beat 4-0. So, the form guide would say that Arsenal should be the favourites. But you can't take anything for granted when Liverpool are at Anfield. On their day, they can beat anyone. So, us Arsenal fans, we're not going into that game. We're going into that game with confidence, but we're going into that game knowing what Liverpool are potentially capable of. So, speaking from my point of view, I'm quite confident going into the game. But Liverpool, you don't know what Liverpool are going to turn up. From Arsenal's point of view, there will be added pressure because City won today, so there will be added pressure in that game. So hopefully, Arsenal, being the mentality monsters that they've been this season, will be able to deal and cope with that pressure. We've got one notable absentee. William Saliba won't be fit for that game. I think he's nearing fitness, but he won't be fit enough for tomorrow's clash at Anfield. So we're going to have Rob Holding partnering Gabriel at centre half. I'm quite cool with that. Rob Holding, he's a veteran. He's been at Arsenal a long time. He's got loads of experience, and he is a more than capable centre back. And that's pretty much Arsenal's most notable absentee. Ben White will play at right back, Zinchenko will play at left back, Holding and Gabriel will be in the middle, Ramsdale will be the goalkeeper, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard in midfield, Saka will play on the right, Gabriel Jesus I'm guessing will go up top, and I think that Mikel Arteta will give Trossard the nod ahead of Gabriel Martinelli. Trossard he might be a key player tomorrow. His dribbling, he's a very, very smart player. He's a very, very smart player. And he's always got a goal in him. He's got loads of assists in him. He's a really good dribbler. And he's got a really good eye. He can find a good pass. And he's got a really good record against Liverpool, scoring a hat-trick at Anfield as well. So I do think Trossard will get the nod over Martinelli, and if Martinelli can come on later on in the game and affect the game with his pace down that left-hand side, the more we've got loads of weapons to really hurt Liverpool in this game. If Saka is playing to the top of his capabilities, he can really hurt them going down the right-hand side as well. And I really think, from Arsenal's point of view, they should be really looking to stamp their authority in midfield. Arsenal are far the better team in midfield. Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard probably be the best midfield in the Premier League this season. Liverpool's midfield, we all know the problems that they have with midfield. I don't need to go through them. So, to be honest with you, Arsenal should look at this game. We know about, Arsenal's previous records at Anfield. Forget about that. It's in the past. We know we haven't won there for a long time. But, this is the present day. And Arsenal are the superior team. And they should really, really look to stamp their authority, especially in midfield. especially in midfield. Partey dominate, Xhaka dominate, Odegaard dominate. I've been a massive fan of Henderson, but he's gone past his best. Fabinho's fallen off a cliff. They've got a couple of kids in there. I mean, we've got 3 really good top midfielders in their prime, and they should go to Anfield and look to dominate the game. And if Arsenal win that game and dominate and stamp their authority in midfield, Arsenal win that game quite comfortably. That being said, Liverpool's attack is where, from an Arsenal perspective, I'm a little bit worried. I don't know what attacking combination he's going to go with. I'm guessing he would go with Salah, Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo. That's a really good attack. Now, that attack is quick. There's got goals in them, potent, physical, athletic. Maybe they could win the game for Liverpool and make goals out of nothing. That's my only worry. I feel Arsenal are superior to them in defence. I feel Arsenal are superior to them in midfield. I even feel Arsenal are superior to them in attack. But Liverpool's attack, the Anfield crowd, the Anfield atmosphere being at home, and Liverpool's attack could be quite dangerous. Apart from that, I think if Arsenal go there with the mentality that we're on top of the league, we're the superior team, we're the team in form, we have the better midfield, and midfield is the driving engine of the team, and Liverpool are very, very suspect at the back, then Arsenal should stamp their authority and really win this game. And I truly believe that's what Arsenal are going to do. So, if Arsenal do win this game, that's putting down a massive marker in the league, taking a massive hoodoo off Arsenal's back at winning at Anfield, and setting a massive marker that Arsenal ain't going away. We're not going away, and we're going to continue like a juggernaut towards that Premier League title, the first in 19 years. So that would be an absolutely phenomenal, iconic win if Arsenal managed to pull it out of the bag. And I'm so looking forward to that game. We've also got Leeds playing tomorrow. Leeds versus Crystal Palace. That is a relegation scrap match. Both of them are in that area where they could go down. Both of them will be desperate to stay in the Premier League. Roy Hodgson coming back in, first game back in at the helm at Palace, getting a dramatic last minute winner in their last game. So Palace will have their tails up. Leeds are at home. They're at Ellen Road. So, with the crowd behind them, with the home advantage, they'll be looking to win that game also. To be honest with you, I do fancy Palace in that game. I think with Roy Hodgson's know-how and that dramatic win that they managed in their last Premier League game, the late win, I do really fancy Palace to beat Leeds at Ellen Road. So let's keep an eye out for that one. But that game will be a key game in deciding who goes down and who gets relegated this Premier League season. So today was a really, really good day for football. Not so much from an Arsenal's perspective because Manchester City managed to win, but there were really, really good games. The first one was Manchester United versus Everton. Manchester United were at home at Old Trafford. They managed, I predicted a comfortable win, and it was a comfortable win, 2-0. McTominay and I believe Martial scored today. McTominay played really well, really tidy finish, so he's carrying on that scoring form that he's been showing for his country. He's bringing that into his club form. McTominay was really, 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 really good today, and I'm really happy for Martial that he managed to get a goal. Martial, he's always sort of sidelined by injuries, not able to stay fit. But I'm a fan of Martial. I think Martial's a really good player. And I think for Man United going forward, if they're going to bring in some strikers, I do think that Martial is a good option as a striker, maybe a second or third choice striker for them to have. He's got some attributes that a lot of strikers don't have, and he's a good player. He can finish, and if they can somehow find a way to get and keep Martial fit, he is a potent weapon for Manchester United going forward. So that was a comfortable win. Everton wouldn't be too worried. They've still got winnable games left with the teams in and amongst them, and I think that with Sean Dyche's know-how and Everton, with the players that they have, they pretty much, I think, will survive and stay in the Premier League this season. We also had Aston. Let me just check. Aston Villa were playing today, and they won 2-0. They won 2-0. Just bear with me a little bit. Bear with me a little bit. I'm having some technical issues. So Villa's form continue. They've been imperious since, versus Nottingham Forest. Villa's form continues. They've been imperious since Unai Emery's come back in. I mean, amazing. What a job of Unai Emery. Just to talk about Unai Emery for a brief minute. Underrated manager. He's won so many trophies. Came to Arsenal. Took us to a Europa League final with an absolute pony team with players like Mustafi in it and all this nonsense. Took us to a Europa League final with Baku that I actually went to. Heartbreaking loss. Had a little bit of a drop off the season next. Got sacked. Arteta comes in and the rest is history. But from an Arsenal point of view, it's very important Arsenal fans understand that Unai Emery set a lot of the foundations for Arsenal's current success, giving Saka his debut, giving Emile Smith-Rowe his first team debut. Halen lads. Signing some good players like Bernd Leno. He wanted Thomas Partey. They didn't give him Thomas Partey. Signing William Saliba. Signing Tierney. Signing Gabriel Martinelli. Signing Gabriel Martinelli. So, and also, the fact that he got us to our first European final since we lost to Barcelona in 2006 in the Champions League. So Unai Emery deserves a lot of credit for setting the foundations for what Arteta and Edu are building on. He's a phenomenal manager. Went to Villarreal, won them the Europa League, had an amazing Champions League run the next season, getting into the semis, I believe, getting beat by Liverpool. Phenomenal manager, very underrated, deserves more appreciation. I, as an Arsenal fan, appreciate him for the job he done at Arsenal and what an amazing job he's doing at Aston Villa. The Aston Villa fans must be over the moon. Today, Traore and Watkins scoring against Nottingham Forest. Not looking good for Nottingham Forest. It's good that they're keeping faith in the gaffer, and he probably is the right gaffer for them, but not looking good for Forest. So we got to keep an eye on them in terms of the drop. But Villa, they're just flying high, looking for the European places. For Villa, in the back, getting into the Europa League would be absolutely phenomenal. What an achievement! And I wouldn't put it past Unai Emery to win it with Villa while he's there, because that's what he does. That's what he does. He wins. He wins in Europe. That's what he does. And Villa do have European heritage. So, this might be a match made in heaven, to be honest with you. We also had today Brighton versus Spurs. Now, Brighton were robbed. They were the better team. Son scored a good goal, and then the centre-back of Brighton, Dunk, scored a towering header to equalise. Then I believe Danny Welbeck scored a goal that was disallowed, I think because it came off the arm of one of the Brighton players, or he might have been offside, but that was a really tidy finish that was disallowed. And then Harry Kane with a smash and grab there was an incident where Brighton should have had a penalty. Højbjerg stamping on Matoma's foot. I mean, how far I didn't see that? Højbjerg literally stamped studs on Matoma's foot. Matoma goes down, no pen. Like, highway robbery. So Spurs were lucky there. I don't think they're going to get in the top 4 anyway, because Manchester United and Newcastle, they keep winning games and they're better teams than them and they're flying high. But, you know, highway robbery for Brighton. A little bit of bench squabbling that saw both gaffers get a red card. But yeah, Brighton should feel aggrieved because they got robbed, and Spurs were very lucky with that Kane smash and grab. But it was quite a tidy finish by Harry Kane. Nice finish right into the side netting, which was good. We also had Newcastle playing. They played Brentford, I believe. And would you believe that Ivan Toney actually missed the penalty? Bloody hell. Would we believe that? We never thought we'd see that. Ivan Toney missing a penalty. But yeah, he did miss a penalty. In that game, Brentford were the far dominant team in the first half. Ivan Toney having a goal disallowed. Then Ivan Toney having a penalty saved. But he actually did score his second penalty that he had. Really good penalty with that typical Ivan Toney technique. Then Newcastle came back into it in the second half. Joe Linton Joe Linton making a goal that was that went down as an own goal by the Brentford player, and Isaac scoring this sublime finish. Pass kept coming to him and he just lovely whips it, cushions it in to the top corner. Sublime finish. Isaac has really taken them to a new level and added a new dimension into attack. Really, really good player. Really good away win by Newcastle. We also had the late kickoff, which was Southampton versus Manchester City. I was hoping Manchester City would lose and Southampton would be able to beat them. I tried to put it out there into universe, but it didn't come into fruition, and Manchester City were dominant. It took a little bit of while for them to break Southampton down, to be honest with you, but Haaland scoring 2. I believe that Alvarez scored a penalty. And let's see. Yeah, Alvarez scored a penalty and Haaland scored 2. Alvarez scored a penalty and Grealish scored again. Grealish really playing well this season, justifying his £100 million price tag. Really good player. Yeah, that was to be expected. It was wishful thinking by me. Southampton, on the other hand, they should be worried about going down. It's not looking too good for Southampton. They should try and get some points off the teams around them. But yeah, another convincing win by City. Haaland, his goal scoring form is just crazy. Just easily going to win the Golden Boot. But let's just hope Arsenal can hold them off. And let's just have a look if there was any games that I missed. Let's look if there's any games that I missed. I don't believe there was. Leicester versus Bournemouth. Wolves versus Chelsea. And Fulham versus West Ham. Let's talk about Leicester versus Bournemouth first. Leicester versus Bournemouth. Relegation scrap. Bournemouth's form is really impressive. They're really managing to find form at the right time that might see them survive. Leicester would be worried. Sacking Brendan Rodgers, not getting a reaction, not getting a gaffer in. It's not looking too good for Leicester. From my point of view, I wouldn't like Leicester to go down. I like Leicester. I want them to stay in the league, but it's not looking good for Leicester. Man, I I don't know, you know, if Leicester sacked Brendan or if Brendan walked away or if it was something mutual. They said it was mutual, but, you know, Leicester need to try and find form. Bournemouth, on the other hand, really, really good. Managing to find form at the right time. Fulham versus West Ham, London derby, tight win by West Ham. Like I said in the previous video, West Ham, Fulham are safe. Most of the players are probably looking at the summer holidays, and West Ham, they'll be too good to go down. And this is a good. This has always been a pattern with Moyes. You know, he'll lose a game, but West Ham will lose a game, and then they'll manage to win and get points in the next couple of games. So, you know, it's never been too bad to sack him. And, you know, West Ham are too good to go down, so they will survive. Yeah, that was a tight 1-0 win today. So this is the funny one I want to talk about. Wolves versus West Ham. Wolves versus Chelsea. Chelsea losing. Now, do you know what? If they wanted to sack... This is why I think Chelsea are a complete shambles and they have no clue. It's a total mess over there. They wanted to sack Graham Potter. But instead of bringing a manager straight away in situ to get a feel for the players, to prepare for next season, to try and win the Champions League, a top manager like Enrique, like Nagelsmann, they went with this. I have to say, Lampard's a rubbish manager. Most Chelsea fans who are real and take off their Lampard fanboy hats will know this guy is crap. He is effing crap. Why would you sack Graham Potter for Frank Lampard? Potter's bet is a bet. My voice is going funny because I can't understand the stupidity. But I don't care. I want Chelsea to be shit. But it just annoys me. Why would you sack Potter for Lampard? Potter's a better manager than Lampard in every way. And plus, Potter deserved a crack at the whip in the Champions League game against Real Madrid because he's done well in the Champions League. Potter, despite the domestic form, he's done well in the Champions League. So, sacking him for a rubbish manager, rubbish like Lampard, what's Lampard going to do in the Champions League against Real Madrid and Ancelotti? We know they're going out. With Potter, they could have won. They could have won that game. Maybe even won the Champions League. There have been bigger surprises, like when Roberto Di Matteo won it and Avram Grant got them to the final. Potter's a better manager than them. They could have beat Real Madrid and potentially won the tournament and salvaged their season. Instead, they sacked Potter and bringing crap. Crap. Lampard is crap. No, shocking. Absolutely shocking. I just don't understand it. If there's any Chelsea fans watching this, tell me what you think, please. Because, you know, if there's any Chelsea fans that's actually pleased. Because, you know, Potter was getting a lot of abuse and all that. And Lampard's coming and some Chelsea fans are happy about it. Well, you know what? You lost. Lampard's first game, shocking performance, shocking team selection. There was no bounce back and you lost. You lost. So it weren't Potter's fault. It was the players. It was the whole structure of the hierarchy at Chelsea. This mishmash of players that Potter couldn't solve the puzzle when any manager would have struggled to solve the puzzle. And you lost. I mean, why's Gallagher playing? Gallagher's crap. He's playing in midfield. Total nonsense. I mean, let's have a look at this Chelsea team. I just don't understand. Lampard's a rubbish manager, I'm sorry. Gallagher midfield. Havertz up front. Oh. He went 4-3. He went 4-3-3. Ah, shocking. It's just shocking. I don't want to go into it too much. Funny for me, but Chelsea fans, shocking. And again, by the Chelsea hierarchy, no common sense. So that's going to conclude today's video. Please smash the like, share the channel and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we're going to be recapping Sunday's games, primarily the big game between Liverpool and Arsenal. Peace and love, guys. Peace out.